So, good morning, or whenever it is that you take this practice. My name is Laura Beth. This is our breath plus movements plus expansion practice. So, got a little stuff going on in my throat, so some allergies and stuff. If you are going to use my playlist, it is How to Fall in Love in a Pandemic. Random playlist titles. That's how I do it. And I don't have any with me right now, but if you want to grab a couple of blocks, you absolutely can. We are going to move a little bit today and do some standing series work, but we'll also, like always, stretch, not do, the whole thing. We're not going to run the gamut, but just enough, just enough to move, to breathe, and to get our bodies ready for the day. So if you want to use music, this is a great moment to go ahead and cue that up. And then let's start off on our backs in opening Shavasana. So allow for your legs to extend forward and for your feet to hang comfortably open. Your arms come down by the side body, your palms face up towards the sky. And when you come into this space, allow for the parts of your body that make contact with the ground for that connection to become a little bit deeper. Go ahead and pin your shoulder blades to your upper back so your heart space will rise ever so slightly. And if you feel comfortable closing down your eyes, I invite you to do so. And relax your brows, relax your jaw. And move into the space, move into your physical asana practice, your moving meditation with a clear mind, dropping some of the weight from your physical body, and then also dropping some of the weight from your energetic body, right? Your subtle body. And then wherever you are in your breath cycle, go ahead and exhale completely. And then inhale through the nose. Allow for your belly to expand, for your rib cage to open. Your heart will rise. And then exhale, sigh it out, let it go. Inhale through your nose. And exhale, sigh it out through the mouth, let everything go. Take one more just like that. Inhale. And exhale. Now sealing the lips lightly. Inhale through your nose. If you're working Ujjayi Pranayam, you're going to drag your breath through the back of a slightly constricted throat on its way in. And then the same thing on its way out. Becomes oceanic-like in nature. It's diaphragmatic breathing. And it's the thing that's going to move you through your entire practice. Now, if you would prefer to stick with Samavriti Pranayam, that's also all good. If you're trying to get your breath to go deep, and for your inhale and your exhale to match both in duration and intensity, this is what gives you that possibility of dropping in and feeling like you're in a moving meditation. It's what leaves you with that, for lack of a better terminology, like blissed out feeling at the end, right? That's all the breath. So on your next inhale, reach your arms up overhead, take a full body stretch, arch your low back, roll out your wrists and your ankles, go in both directions. And on the exhale, hug your knees in towards your chest. You can wrap your arms around your shins. Stay ankle next to ankle rather than crossing. And then rock your knees side to side. Getting a massage through the low back. And then come through center. Drop your feet down about hip width distance apart. Setting up for bridge rolls. So as we move into these, I want you to really think of yourself peeling your vertebra one on top of the other off, one by one off of the mat. So your hands come down next to your hips to start. Pin your shoulder blades to your upper back. And then inhale, press your feet down and away from you. Curl your pubic bone up towards your navel. Lift your hips one vertebra at a time. And as the hips lift up and off of the ground, float your arms up and overhead, palms facing up. And then you exhale again, one vertebra at a time, and then let your hands come back down. We're going to move slowly, lubricating your shoulder joints. Inhale, curl your tail up, lift your hips, float your arms up overhead. And exhale to let it go. Take 3 more just like that. Inhale. And exhale. And the last 2. And 1. And then once you come down, let your tailbone go neutral. Open your arms out like a T. Draw your knees in towards a 90-degree bend. Flex your feet. And then you softly pull the pit of your belly in and up. And then take your breath in. On the exhale, drop your knees to the right, but they're going to hover. They're not going to come all the way down. So working into your obliques. And then inhale, draw yourself back through center. Your low back goes flat. And exhale, drop your knees to the left. They hover. Inhale to center. Exhale, drop the knees to the right. Turn your face to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale your knees to the left. Now this time, come through center. On the inhale, drop your knees, on the exhale, drop your knees to the right. You're going to hover and hold. Stay for your inhale. And then as you exhale, just let your knees come down to the ground for your spinal twist. Turn your face to the left. Breathe. And then you inhale, draw your knees through center. On the exhale, drop your knees to the left. You're going to let them hover for your inhale. Deep breath in. And then exhale, let your knees fall to the left. Turn your face to the right. Breathe. And then you inhale, come back into center. Let your low back go flat. Exhale, hug your knees in for a moment. My mat's moving all around. And then on your next inhale, take a full body stretch. So take your arms up overhead, extend your legs forward. But let everything just come down so you're flat on your mat. Now, as you exhale, slide your feet over to the left. Lift your upper back and slide it to the left as well. So you create a crescent moon or a banana shape with your body. Now you can stay right here, or you can cross your right ankle over the left. Your left hand can encircle your right wrist, breathing deeply into your right side body. And then on your inhale, unravel, uncross, come to center. And then exhale, slide everything over to the right. You might lift your upper back, slide your shoulders, your head to the right. If you just need more, then you cross your left ankle over the right hand and circles left wrist. But you want your left shoulder and your hip to stay down. You keep breathing deeply so you feel the left side ribcage fan open. And then you inhale, unravel, come through center, reach, get as long as you can. And exhale, hug your knees in towards your chest, slide your hands behind your thighs. And you're going to take some spinal rocks and rolls forward and backward. So I like to inhale, lift my hips. And on the exhale, keep the low back rounded, the belly tucked in, rock it forward. Inhale to roll back. Exhale to rock forward. Let's take like one more. Inhale. And then exhale, let's all meet in box pose. So all fours. Just come forward. Find hands and knees. Stack your shoulders, your elbows, your wrists. Bring your knees underneath your hips. Spread your fingers out wide. And then inhale, drip a soft belly down towards the ground. Lift your chin, lift your tail. And then exhale, reverse the movement. Dome out your upper back. Let your head hang. Navel to your spine. Separate your shoulder blades. And then inhale, belly down. There's a sway to your low back. And then exhale to reverse it. Navel to your spine, doming out. Tuck your chin. And inhale, take your belly back down. Heart forward. And exhale, navel to your spine, dome it out. And the last one, inhale. And exhale. Now inhale, come into a neutral spine. Move this out of that vertical plane and start to just sway it around into hip circles. And then go in the opposite direction when you're ready. And we come right back into our box pose. I want you to inhale here. And then exhale, curl up your toes, but dome out your upper back like you would a cat pose. Navel to your spine. Now moving from that space between your navel and your pubic bone, press your palms down. Breathe in. And then exhale, lift your hips up and back to downward facing dog. So you're creating an inverted letter V with your body. And then kind of take your attention to your tailbone, creating an apex at the hinge of your hips. Even if you have to really bend into your knees, lift your heels, take the tip of your tail towards the ceiling. And then maybe you pedal out your feet. And then Surya Namaskar A, sun salutation. First round, nice and slow. Inhale, roll to the balls of your feet. I just said feet. To your feet. And then exhale, walk your feet to your hands, nice and slow. Take your feet about hip-width distance apart. Inhale, slide your fingertips to your shins. Take the crown of your head forward, your tailbone back. Your belly pulls in and up, so you're supporting your lumbar spine. And then there can be a very deep bend to your knees, but drape your ribcage to your thighs. Let your head hang down. Grab opposite elbows for ragdoll. Allow this to be that release from your low back and from the posterior chain, so the hamstrings, all that stuff. I like to kind of sway side to side. You do what feels the best to you. And breathe here. Find length. Completely exhale. And then inhale, come all the way up to standing. Reach your arms out and up. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Anjali Mudra. Inhale, swim your arms out and up, look up. Get as long as you can. Exhale, hinge at your hips, forward fold, chest to your thighs. Let your head hang. Inhale, tabletop your back. Exhale to your high plank, hands down. Step your feet back. Hold for a moment. Now, if you're not into the chaturangas, all you're going to do is lift yourself up to downward facing dog. I'm not even going to full on chaturanga this first round. Inhale, you can bring your knees to the ground. Exhale, point your elbows back, untuck your toes, come down to your belly. Inhale, roll your shoulders back, lift your chest, use your spinal muscles. And then exhale, take your hips to your heels for a child's pose, only for a breath. And then you inhale, come back into your box pose, find that fluid movement. Exhale, lift your hips up and back and find downward facing dog. Breathe in. Know that you're breathing in. And breathe out. Know that you're breathing out. Now we take that breath to movement. Inhale, soft bend to your knees, gaze forward. Exhale, take your feet to your hands. As many steps as you need. Inhale, lengthen your spine, tabletop your back. Exhale, forward fold, let it go. Inhale, root to rise all the way to standing. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms out and up. Pull your floating ribs off the top of your hips. Exhale, hinge at your hips rather than the waist and forward fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, hands down. So if you want to take chaturanga, and y'all, this is like your gentle practice, which chaturanga is not, so you do you. You would inhale to shift forward. Exhale, lead with your heart, your throat, your chin, come halfway down. Inhale, pull your heart through to lift it. And then exhale, downward facing dog and breathe. We've got two more. Inhale, bend to the knees, drishti to the top of your mat. Exhale, step your feet forward, moving slowly if you choose. Inhale to tabletop your back, and then exhale to fold yourself down. Inhale, all the way to standing, arms up, look up maybe. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, circle it out. Exhale, fold yourself down, just drop your head to the ground. Inhale, take your crown to the top of the mat. Exhale, hands to the earth, step your feet back, hold. Inhale, shift it forward or skip it. Exhale, bend your elbows up to halfway, 90 degrees. Inhale, the heart draws forward to lift. And then exhale, hips high, downward facing dog. One more. Inhale. Exhale, take your feet to the top of your mat. It doesn't matter if you get behind, it's all good, y'all. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, bow the crown of your head down. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, hands come down to your sternum. Inhale, arms circle out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, tabletop your back. Exhale, step it back, high plank. Inhale, shift forward, or go straight to downward facing dog, or even child's pose. Exhale, you lower halfway. Inhale, draw your chest forward. Really stretch through the front side of your body while strengthening the back side. And then exhale, using your core, lift yourself up and back to downward facing dog and breathe. All right, y'all. Now on the inhale, float your right leg up to the sky. We're going to work our stabilizing muscles just a little bit. On the exhale, go ahead and bend your right knee, stack your hip, open it up, and then feel free to circle it out or be still. And then inhale, re-extend your right leg. Exhale, knee to your chin, your chest, your nose, and step your right foot forward. Now let your left heel go flat. Inhale to bring your shoulders over your hips, your arms up over your head. So Virabhadrasana A, Warrior One. The right knee is a 90-degree bend, and then your left toes angle slightly inward. Reach your arms up over your head. Good. Now I want you to really press down into the big toe ball mound on your right foot. Pull the pit of your belly back. Inhale right here. Exhale, straighten your right leg. Hinge at your right hip. Your belly pulls in. Your arms float back with your palms facing down. Your gaze is just out in front of your right toes. Breathe. Now inhale, re-bend your right knee. Reach your arms up overhead. And exhale, open this up. Warrior Two, gaze to your right fingertips. Good. Open your arms out like a T. Bend deeply into your right knee so it tracks the heel or the ankle, and your left toes are still angling slightly inward. Now you might have to really lift up through the right hip and ground through the left, right? And then breathe. Take one more inhale. On the exhale, spin your left heel in, open up to goddess pose at the long edge of your mat. So your heels come in and your toes turn out, right? And then you drop your hips down. Now it's easy to kind of go into like what I call duck butt here, which is really sticking your tail back. I don't want you to over tuck, but you want to find something that's a little bit more neutral than the really arched low back, right? Now bring your hands down to your thighs. On the inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, drop your right shoulder down and gaze to the left. Inhale back through center. Whew. Exhale, left shoulder dips down, gaze right. Inhale, center. Exhale, drop your right shoulder down, gaze to the left. Inhale. And exhale, drop your left shoulder down, gaze right. All right, y'all. So on the inhale, come right back through center. Exhale, straighten your legs, turn your toes towards the long edge of your mat. Inhale, reach your arms out and up. And then exhale, hinge at your hips and forward fold. Let your head hang. So Prasarita Padottanasana. There's a hinge at your hips. And you're breathing deeply, evenly. If it's available, your forearms can come to the ground. I like to spin my toes slightly pigeon-toed. And my left leg, is a little bit more limited right now. So it definitely feels different. Breathe in here. Hands can be on blocks. Now walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. Inhale, lengthen your spine. On the exhale, flip over your right leg. You're back at the top of your mat. Now this is a great spot to have blocks if you would like. Have you inhale, bend into your right knee. Your left toes are parallel. And then exhale, straighten through your right leg and take a modified pyramid pose. 2 more just like that. Inhale, low lunge, bend your right knee, take your heart, take your pelvis forward. Exhale, shift it back, lengthen through your front leg. Last one, inhale and exhale. Hold this one, and it's fine if you stay in this long stance with the lifted left heel. It's just a modification. It's a different variation. But spin your navel towards your right thigh bone, lengthen your spine, let your head go. And then inhale, bend into your right knee. And on the exhale, slide your left knee to the inner arch of your right foot. Come down to the left knee, the left shin, and the top of your left foot. And you're going to walk your hands back behind you. Fingertips point towards you. And then inhale, lift your hips so you press your palms down. Take your gaze to the ceiling. And really stretch your left hip, your left quadricep. The birds are in the trees. Take an inhale. And exhale, let your hips come back towards your heel. On your inhale, walk yourself forward, hands to the ground. Exhale, standing split. Your hands can be on blocks. Straighten through your right leg, lift to the left. And it's okay if this feels challenging, right? It's all good, y'all. Don't get frustrated. Don't give in. Do what you can do. Take one more inhale. Exhale, place your left foot next to the right, top of your mat. Inhale to Utkatasana, your chair pose. Sit your hips back and down. Lift your chest, reach your arms up overhead. On the exhale, sit yourself back and down. Pull the pit of your belly in. Now inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, open arm twist. Take your left arm forward, your right arm back. And then gaze towards your right arm if it's available, right? But keep your hips level and squared towards the front of the mat. Now inhale, rotate back front and center, arms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold, let it go. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bring your hands down, step yourself back. You're more than welcome to take a chaturanga, but you don't have to. So you do what feels best to you. I'm going to just press up to downward facing dog. And then second side, inhale, left leg to the sky. Exhale, bend your left knee, open it up. Now feel your left glute, your outer hip, all that kind of fire, right? Your left heel digs towards your right glute, and then you start to circle it out. So the ball and socket joint of your hip gets that lubrication and synovial fluid production to create this movement with ease. And then you inhale, lengthen your left leg. Exhale, knee to your chin, your chest, your nose. Step your left foot forward. Your right heel goes flat. Right toes angle slightly inward. Inhale, bring your shoulders over your hips, your arms up over your head. Stay for the exhale. Breathe. Now inhale, lengthen your spine. And exhale, straighten through your left leg. Hinge at your hips, float your arms back. Your gaze goes to the left foot, just out in front of it. But you're going to pull your left hip back, your right hip forward. Breathe. Pinkies draw in. Exhale completely. And then inhale, bend into your left knee. Reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, open yourself up, warrior two. Gaze to your left fingertips. So your feet become more like on railroad tracks rather than, more like tightrope instead of railroad tracks. Drop your pelvis down. Breathe. Take one more inhale. Exhale, spin your right heel in and take your goddess pose towards the long edge of your mat. Drop your pelvis down. And then take your arms out like a cactus, and then maybe just kind of move it side to side this time. Feeling out whatever it is that you need in this space. And then when you're ready, inhale, straighten your legs. Exhale, turn your toes towards the long edge of your mat. This time, inhale, reach your arms out. On the exhale, Baddha Hasta. Interlace your fingers at the base of your spine, and then as you inhale, puff up your chest. Now I want you to firm up the pit of your belly, and you're going to lead with your heart. Hinge at your hips and come down. Let the crown of your head come down, and then work your fist up and over your head. Breathe. Take one more inhale. And then exhale, bring your hands down to the earth. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, walk yourself to the top of your mat. So you're framing your left foot with your hands. Inhale, bend into your left knee. So you're a low lunge. The right heel is lifted. Your right toes are parallel. And then exhale, shift it back, straighten through your left leg. Inhale to rebend. And exhale, pyramid pose. One more, holding that last one. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, shift your hips back, straighten through your left leg. Really press down to the big toe ball mount of your left foot. Feel the stretch also on the front side of your shin, right? It's on the shin rather than the calf. You might even feel it in the calf as well. And then on your inhale, bend back into your left knee. And then exhale, slide your right knee towards the inner arch of your left foot. Top of your foot is down, hips towards your right heel. And it's a little awkward stance, like you're crouching. And I'm going to have you walk your hands back, fingertips point towards you. Press your palms down. And then inhale, lift your hips. Gaze to the sky. One more inhale. And exhale to sit yourself down. On the inhale, walk yourself forward. Straighten your left leg, lift the right. Take your standing split. Hands can be on blocks. One more inhale. Exhale, drop your right foot down. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And exhale, fold it down. Inhale, bend your knees. Sit your hips back and down. Reach your arms up. Now find your chair pose. Sit it back and down. Now inhale, lengthen your spine. On the exhale, open arm twist. Right arm forward, left arm back. Gaze to your left fingertips. Or watch your left hip. If it tries to pull back, you got to fire up your left side obliques. Drop forward. On your next inhale, rotate it front and center. Reach your arms to the sky. And exhale, forward fold. Let it go. Inhale, tabletop your back. And exhale, hands down. Step your feet back. And let your knees come down to the ground. Take a quick child's pose. Hips to your heels. Rest it out. Walk your hands forward. Let your forehead come down. You can roll your forehead from side to side. And then on your inhale, slowly shift it back up. Curl up your toes. Lift your hips up and back. And then find downward facing dog. Now on your inhale, right leg reaches to the sky. And exhale, take your right knee over towards your left tricep. Hold right there. And then kick your right foot out. You're on the knife edge of your right foot. Your hands are still down. You can stay right here. If you want, right palm roots, left foot goes flat. You float your left arm up and then lift your hips, lift your chest. Breathe. And I'm going to have you take one more inhale right here. And then as you exhale, sit yourself down. So you're kind of at this diagonal towards the back of your mat. You might take your legs out wide. You might bring them a little bit closer together. I bring my hands behind my hips to lift my chest. Take an inhale. You can also have a bend to your knees. On the exhale, fold forward. Like I told you, like there's something going on with my left leg, like where it pulls towards the gluteal fold. So I'm just being careful. All right, y'all. Slowly draw yourself back up. And then bring the soles of your feet together, your heels in towards your sits bones. Let your knees hang open. And then your forearms are going to kind of rest here into your calves, your ankles. Hands can hold your feet. Inhale, lengthen your spine first. And then exhale, Baddha Konasana A. Hinge at your hips. Take your heart forward and just breathe. And then slowly bring your shoulders back up over your hips. I'm going to have you close your knees together for a moment. And then from here, just bring your hands back towards the top of your mat. I'm going to have you inhale. I'm spinning on the ball mound of my left foot. Right leg comes back to the sky. On the exhale, step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. And if that transition does not jive with you, just come to a low lizard. It doesn't matter how you get there. I mean, the transitions matter. So I say that in a way. But if the transition I offer is like a no for you, just get there. Now, when you're here, your hands start underneath your shoulders and your right toes are pointing forward. Your right knee hugs in towards your upper arm bone. If you're like, I need some more, spin your right toes out to the like 1 or 2 o'clock. Roll to the outer edge of your right foot, and perhaps you come down to your forearms. Wherever you are breathing deeply, allowing for your breath to create the opening in your body, right? Rather than you forcing it through your musculature. Breathe. And when you're ready, walk your hands back, lift your chest, turn your right toes forward, and you're going to heel toe your right foot all the way over and take Ekapada Kapotasana, your half pigeon. Your right foot is slightly flexed. You can also take this on the back and cross your right ankle over your left knee. There should be no pain or tension in your right kneecap. So that means maybe you have to bring the heel in towards your pelvis or flex the right foot. And then take your chest forward, lengthen your spine, and just come down. Breathing in. You know you're breathing in. You breathe out, and you know you're breathing out. And slide your hands back underneath your shoulders. So you can peel your chest up and off of the mat. And stay here for a second. And maybe you just kind of stretch and lift your chest, lift your chin. And then curl up your left toes. And lift your left knee. Float your right leg up and back. And then bend your right knee, circle it out. And then place your right foot down on the ground. Breathe in. Float your left leg up to the sky. And then as you exhale, left knee to your right tricep. And then kick your left foot out. Let the knife edge of your left foot come to the ground. You can stay right here if this is what you need. Otherwise, your right foot goes flat. Your left palm becomes your base. Reach your right arm to the sky. You can take your hand kind of to the nape of your neck. Open up through your chest. Lift your hips. Lift your heart. Take one more inhale. And as you exhale, sit it down nice and slow. So now you're facing like that left diagonal of your mat. Same thing, second side, but we're going to do the exact same thing. You might notice you go a little bit deeper. You might not, whatever is fine. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, hinge at your hips and fold. I'm going to stay right here. Breathe. And slowly walk yourself back up. Bring the soles of your feet together, taking Baddha Konasana B this time. So think of a rounded spine. And it's like you're bringing your eyebrows towards the crescent moon shape that your arches of your feet create. So tucking the chin, my elbows kind of coming towards my hip crease. That might not work with the anatomy in your body, but that's where I go. And then you round your forehead down toward your toes. And let this really be about a lengthening of your spine. It's rounding, but it's decompressing your vertebra. And then you slowly come up when you're ready. Bring your knees together. I'm going to bring my hands down to the mat. And then I kind of spin on my right, like the balls of my right foot. And then lift the left leg up. Inhale. Exhale, step your left foot outside of your left hand and bring your right knee down to the ground. And we're here. You breathe. And if you want to take your left toes out to like 10 or 11 o'clock or roll out to the knife edge of your left foot, you can. If you want to come down to your forearms, you can. And then your left hand comes back. If you did anything different, press your palms to the ground, lift your chest. Turn your left toes, your left knee forward, and then you're going to heel toe it all the way over to the right for your half pigeon or coming onto your back if you prefer. Flex to the left foot, stretch your right leg long behind you. Pull your heart forward, and then as you exhale, just come down. Now slide your hands back. Lift your chest. Curl up your right toes. Lift your right knee. You might stretch your chest, your solar plexus, all that stuff first, like all the abdominal area first. And then curl up your right toes. Lift your right knee. If you need to circle out your left hip, you can. And we're just right back in downward facing dog, and then let your knees come down to the ground. And let's find ourselves in a seated position. I'm going to scoot forward. And then take a C curve to your spine so that you can come down nice and slow. All the way to your back. And once you're there, hug your knees and towards your chest for a moment. Get some compression on the thighs, on the hips. And then let your feet come down hip width distance apart. Toes and knees are at 12 o'clock. And your hands come down next to your hips. And then inhale, just bridge pose, Setu Bandhasana, and lift your hips up into the sky. If it feels good, you can roll your arms kind of underneath you. You can make a bind at the base of your tail with your hands clasping, interlacing your fingers. But breathe. And then slowly come down. Again, one vertebra at a time. Take your time. Let your spine go flat and rest. Then you'll open your arms out like a T. Pull your knees in. And on the exhale, drop your knees to the right and turn your face to the left. Breathe. And then inhale, come back through center. If you need to scoot your hips a little bit to the right, it's all good. And then exhale, drop your knees to the left and then turn your face to the right. And then you inhale, come back through center. Exhale to hug your knees in towards your chest. All right, so press your feet up into the sky. And I don't want you to look at the camera or anything, right? I typically don't teach shoulder stand in live streams because I stress out about it. It's really easy to tweak your neck, but somebody requested it, and so it's like I'll do it. But it's easy to mess your neck up. So you've got to just keep your gaze straight above you, right? Once the toes come up, I mean, you can look at your toes, but looking side to side is a no, right? So from here, you bring your feet into the sky. Your elbows are in towards the side body. And you inhale, lift your hips and let your hands find the small of your back. And then you've got to really pull your elbows in towards one another. And then think of your hips moving more towards your face while your toes are moving away. And you breathe. Now, with the elbows drawing in, at some point the pinkies are going to find one another at the small of your back. You don't have to force it, right? That's not happening today. And then from shoulder stand, you can drop your feet over the head into halasana, your plow pose. Breathe. And then if you have ear pressure pose, you would bend your knees. And they're going to mess up my AirPods, so I'm not going to do it. But you bend your knees and you hug your knees in towards your ears. And then when you're ready, take whatever else it is that you need so that you can come down one vertebra at a time flat on the mat, moving into your Shavasana. Allow for your legs to extend and to hang comfortably open while your arms come down by the side, body palms face up. And as you breathe in, you know you're breathing in. And as you breathe out, you know you're breathing out. And then you even let go of that and you just simply breathe and rest. Enjoy. And then if you need to be here longer, which I hope you do, I want you to stay as long as you possibly can. You're going to stay exactly where you are. Otherwise, we begin to deepen the breath, to wiggle the fingers and the toes. And on your inhale, float your arms up overhead, find a full body stretch. And then exhale, hug your knees in towards your chest. And you're going to kind of roll over to the right or press straight up into Sukhasana, your comfortable, easy sit right where we are. Take that final moment, that pause, to be grateful for our bodies, for what they do for us today, to be hopeful for tomorrow. Thank you all for doing this whenever it is that you catch this practice. I see you. I appreciate you. Have a great rest of your day and namaste.